y'all, it's me Alex. Today I am going to do a 3 looks 1 palette video featuring the MeeshaLou Cosmetics, there we go, get in the frame, there we go. The MeeshaLou Cosmetics Witchcraft palette. I ordered this a long time ago and I did a get ready with me featuring this palette, and I promised a 3 looks 1 palette with it, and here I am. So I have this look along with like a smoky halo eye using the purple shade and kind of a more neutral maroony type look. So I'm really excited for it. I am going to give like some very quick thoughts on this palette. This is a bit difficult for me to work with, but I do genuinely enjoy it. Why can't I stay in the frame? So I think that this has one of the most unique color schemes that I have ever seen in a palette, and I really appreciate that. And a lot of people who have this compare it to the Anastasia Subculture palette, which I also have and I also really like. I don't know if I necessarily see the resemblance, at least in the matte shades. For the matte shades, I definitely prefer that palette more. These matte shades seem to be a bit drier, like there's still a bit of fallout, but these seem a bit drier. The shimmers I think are very similar in that to kind of like get your best bet out of all of them. In both palettes, you should like use like a spritz of water or some setting spray on your brush when you're applying it in order to get the full effect. One thing that I did notice that I don't know, I haven't had this happen with any other eyeshadow palette, is that it's really difficult for me to get the shades to stick right around my upper lash line there, which you'll see as I'm applying the shades. It's just a bit more work. And I haven't had that happen before, so that's just like a quirk of this palette. And I also struggle a little bit with Cauldron. You really have to dig into that shade to really like get the full pigmentation out of it, but that's what I kind of have in like the inner part of my crease here. So like you just have to really dig into it and layer it up. But I do genuinely really like this palette. I think it has such a beautiful color scheme that to me, kind of like the Subculture palette, I'll compare it to that in that the formula is very, very different from a lot of traditional palettes that you'll see, like a standard Anastasia palette or Urban Decay. Like all of those you can kind of use on their own, but this one, it does require like the same companion palette that I normally use with the Subculture, which is the Shade Light Eye palette, but I do really like it. I also just dinged one of the shades with the Shade Light Eye palette. That's really smart and totally not clumsy at all. I do really, really like this palette. I think that this is so pretty and it has such a unique color scheme. Even though the formula is a bit weird, it's something that is so gorgeous that I'm really willing to work with it. And it's not that difficult if you're kind of like a more experienced eyeshadow user like I am. Like eyeshadow is kind of my thing. So I feel as though I've gotten pretty good at like blending and applying and all of that, so it just takes a little bit of work. It's not a palette that you would use when you're looking for a quick out the door look, but that's also not the kind of palette that I usually go for. I do like it because it's a colorful palette without it being a rainbow palette. All the colors go really well together. Yeah, I don't have any, like it's kind of exactly what I've been looking for, and I wish more companies would do palettes like this, just because this is, to me, it's so pretty. I mean, there's only one like true brown here. There are a couple of maroony shades. There really isn't a lot of neutralness. There is a matte black, which it's not the best matte black I've ever had, but it's pretty pigmented. It's really good for deepening up other shades. I really love White Witch because it is super cool. It comes across just looking straight up white in the pan, but it's what I have on my brow bone, and it has a bit of a green shift, which I think is super cool. I also love Dark Magic, and Potion is really good if you just need like a green transition shade, if you're just going to do an all green look. If you put Magic on with a setting spray, it is absolutely phenomenal. It is so like glittery and shimmery and perfect. And also I just love the combination of Pentagram and Wand for kind of just like a very, like a little bit more of a neutral look, but something very simple, but still like kind of with a twist and kind of just very pretty. So all in all, I do really, really like this palette. I think it has a lot going for it. If you're somebody who likes to, you know, really spend time on their eye makeup, I think that this is definitely something that you would enjoy. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get into the video. Okay, so for this first look, I'm going to begin by applying my NYX HD eyeshadow primer. And since this palette has a very similar formula to Subculture by Anastasia, I am going to do my method that I do for Anastasia, which is I take this shade from my Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette, just that nice little base shade, and I'm just gonna put that all over my lid to set my primer. And I'm gonna, of course, bring that up into the crease and brow bone as well. So for my transition shade, I'm going to dig into the MeeshaLou palette, and I'm going to take Wand, which is that kind of burgundy brownie shade, and I'm just going to put that into my crease. Now we're going to do more of a halo eye today, but since I'm going to be working with more purpley tones, this is going to be the best shade for what I'm looking for. And I'm just kind of wiggling my brush around in there. I find that just this palette does take a lot of blending, so it's not going to be, you know, a good like go-to out the door late for work palette, but you know what, if you have like time in the morning, I highly recommend. If you're just like the kind of person who wants to play around with makeup, I think that this is really great. I'm gonna make this a super smoky halo eye. So then I'm going to dig in with the shade Black Witch, and I'm gonna put that on the outer and inner corner. And I'm using Wet n Wild, I guess it's just their blending eye brush. I wish they had a label on it or something, but oh well. And I think that this black is something that you really should build up because it can get kind of messy. But I also know that I like a good, like kind of messy eye look, and that is often what I go for because it's just fun and you don't have to think about it too much. You don't have to have like, you know, like my hand shakes sometimes. I think everybody's does, and this is really good for eye looks like that. You know, it's okay to be grungy, it's okay to be messy, still look cute either way. Now for my lid shade, just kind of like an overall lid shade, I'm going to take Dark Magic, which is this gorgeous purple, and I'm going to use an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and just really pack that onto the center of my lid. I'm regretting doing my foundation first because a lot of the palettes that I like, including this one, have a bit of fallout, so that is something to just be aware of. And I do want to be mindful about getting this as close to the lash line as possible. I don't know why, but sometimes on my eyes, especially with more metallic eyeshadows, I can't get it into the lash line. And then I'm going to take more of Black Witch and use that to help define the eye look and just build up the outer and inner corners again. And I'm gonna blend a little bit more of Wand in the middle. And I'm gonna note that a lot of the more metallic shades they work better if you use a wet brush. So I'm gonna spritz a little bit of my Kat Von D setting spray, which I'm almost out of. I think I've managed to run out of all of my setting sprays all at once. But then I'm going to go into Magic, and I'm gonna put that in the very center of my lid. I'm going to blend that with a little bit more Dark Magic. And along my lower lash line, I'm going to go back in with Black Witch, and I'm just going to do a very smoky lower lash line. Now, since there's only one highlight shade in the MeeshaLou palette, I'm just going to use this matte white shade from my Kat Von D Shade and Light eye palette, and I'm just going to put that on my brow bone. And I'm also going to put that in my inner corner. I don't think I need like a sparkly inner corner with this look because I have a lot of glitter on my lid. Now to really help this eye look, I am going to go in with my NYX retractable eyeliner in black, and I'm going to use that to tightline my upper lash line as well as my waterline. So I'm gonna finish off this look with some mascara and lipstick, and I will be right back. And so this is the finished look. I finished it off with some of my Essence Lash Princess mascara. I also added my regular blush and highlight, and for my lipstick I used my, where is it? Here we go. The Makeup Monsters liquid lipstick in Luna, which has kind of been my go-to nude but not nude for cool tone purpley fun looks. So yeah, this is the first look. Okay, so for the second look, I'm once again going to start off using my NYX HD eyeshadow primer. And once again, I'm going to set down that primer using this light base shade from my Kat Von D Shade Light eye palette. From the MeeshaLou palette, I'm going to start off by applying Spellbook. There we go, in focus. And I'm going to take that and apply that in the crease as my transition shade. And then I'm going to mix that in with some Wand. And Wand is mostly going, well, it's going in the crease, but then it is also, I'm also going to blend it into the outer corner as well. For my lid shade, I'm going to take Pentagram, and I'm just going to use the flat end of an Anastasia Beverly Hills brush, and I'm just going to place it on my lid because that's my lid shade. Then I'm going to take a bit more of Wand and use that to blend that out. Also, to deepen up the outer corner, I'm going to take a very tiny little bit of Black Witch, and I'm just going to put that very lightly using a Wet n Wild blending brush. I think that's what it's called. There is like literally no name on it. Now I'm going to go back and take Wand and apply that, Wand, there we go. I'm going to take Wand and apply that along my lower lash line. For my inner corner highlight, I'm going to spray my brush. And now they're setting spray all over my computer. Lovely. Gotta set all of the dirt and grime on the screen. That's wonderful. But then I'm going to take Maiden and put that on the inner corner. I'm just going to add a little bit of Black Witch to the lower part of the outer corner. And for my brow bone highlight, I'm going to take this shade from my Kat Von D Shade Light eye palette. Just going to put that up there real quick. And now I'm going to quickly finish it off with some lipstick and mascara. So this is the finished look. I finished it off with my Essence Lash Princess mascara, as well as my Makeup Monsters liquid lipstick in Juniper. So this is the second look. And so for this final look, I'm going to start it off the same way that I have done the other two looks. So I'm going in with my NYX HD eyeshadow primer potion. Not primer potion, that's Urban Decay. And y'all know the drill. I'm setting it down with this light matte shade from my Shade and Light eye palette by Kat Von D. So I'm going to kind of create a reverse smoky eye. So I'm going to start off by taking Cauldron, which is this darker green shade, And I'm just going to put that on the inner corner of my eye. Now this is a shade that I have had some trouble picking up, so I do really have to dig into it, but it does work pretty well once you just really have to build it up. And I'm kind of forming the inner corner of this eye the same way you would do a normal outer corner. So just starting in the inner corner and blending it out into the crease. And I'm gonna want to deepen that up because that shade just isn't, I don't know, it's not deep enough for my liking, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take Potion, which is this nice lighter green, and I'm gonna blend that into the outer part of my crease. And as you can see, this one I think is a bit more pigmented than the Cauldron. Words, wow. I'm gonna use a bit of Cauldron to blend those two together. So then I'm gonna take Crescent, which is this dark green, kind of a satin shade, satin shimmer, and I'm going to apply that towards the inner corner, kind of over top where I put Cauldron, and blending it into the crease. And I'm just going to blend that with some more Cauldron. I don't know why, but for some reason this doesn't blend very well into my lash line. And then I'm going to take more of Cauldron and just put that along my lower lash line. Then I'm going to blend Potion into the outer part. And just kind of blend that into the outer corner very lightly. And then I'm going to take Broom, and I'm going to use that to deepen the inner corner. And I'm going to use a little fluffy brush to kind of do that so I can blend it the same way I did Cauldron. And I'm just going to blend that out with Cauldron in the crease. Now, just because Crescent isn't showing up the way I want it to, I'm actually going to spritz the brush with some setting spray and see if that'll help intensify it. There we go. That's covering things the way I want it to. And once again, I got it on my computer screen. Good job, Alex. And just blend it some more. This is just a really intense eye look. And finally, for my brow bone, I'm going to take White Witch and just place that up there. And I love White Witch because at first it just looks like it's white, but it actually does have a green duochrome shift. And so I'm gonna quickly tightline my waterline using my NYX retractable eye pencil in black. And I'm just going to finish it off with some mascara and lipstick, and I'll be right back. So this is the third look. It is finished, and for my lipstick, I used a little mini Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipstick in Chai, which came from the little birthday set, and this is my finished look. Alright y'all, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe down below if you want to see more videos from me, and I'll see you on my next one. Hope you'll have a wonderful day. Bye!